Hello, welcome to the last chapter of Genesis. The chapter number is 50. Then Joseph fell on his face and wept over him and kissed him. And Joseph commanded his servants, the physicians, to embalm his father. So the physicians embalmed Israel. 40 days were required for it, for that is how many are required for embalming. And the Egyptians wept for him 70 days. We're talking about Jacob. He was the one who died. And when the days of weeping for him were past, Joseph spoke to the household of Pharaoh, saying, "If now I have found favor in your eyes, please speak in the ears of Pharaoh, saying, my father made me swear, saying, I'm about to die in the tomb that I hewed out for myself in the land of Canaan. There shall you bury me. Now therefore let me please go up and bury my father. Then I will return." And Pharaoh answered, "Go up and bury your father, as he made you swear." So Joseph went up to bury his father. With him went up all the servants of Pharaoh, the elders of his household, and all the elders of the land of Egypt, as well as all the household of Joseph, his brothers, and his father's household. Only their children, their flocks, and their herds were left in the land of Goshen. And there went up with him both chariots and horsemen. It was a very great company. When they came to the threshing floor of Atad, which is beyond the Jordan, they lamented there with a very great and grievous lamentation, and he made the mourning for his father 7 days. When the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites, saw the mourning on the threshing floor of Atad, they said, "This is a grievous mourning by the Egyptians." Therefore the place was named Abel Mizamim. It is beyond the Jordan. Thus his sons did for him as he commanded them. His sons carried him to the land of Canaan and buried him in the cave of the field of Machpelah, to the east of Mamre, which Abraham bought with the field from Ephron the Hittite to possess as a burying place. After he had buried his father, Joseph returned to Egypt with his brother, all who had gone up with him to bury his father. So they went up to the land of Canaan to bury Jacob. What interesting is about this whole thing is the mourning the Egyptians did. So I was thinking about this. I know the Egyptians were fascinated by death. Pyramids, Book of the Dead, the underworld and things like that. But what is interesting to me is how much they were lamenting. I don't know, they must have revered Joseph because he was the one essentially who saved the nation. But at the same time, it makes me wonder if these were professionals who lamented, because I remember when, I think it was Kim Jong-il, the second one who died, when he died a couple of years back, it was shown on TV, and people were just crying, and you could tell that it wasn't really a sincere crying, like on the national level. Yet people looked as if this was the biggest tragedy that had ever happened in the history of the planet Earth. So it's interesting. It makes one wonder. When Joseph's brothers saw that their father was dead, they said, "It may be that Joseph will hate us and pay us back for all the evil that we did to him." So they sent a message to Joseph saying, "Your father gave this command before he died. Say to Joseph, please forgive the transgression of your brothers and their sin, because they did evil to you. And now please forgive the transgression of the servants of the God of your father." Joseph wept when they spoke to him. His brothers also came and fell down before him and said, "Behold, we are your servants." But Joseph said to them, "Do not fear, for I am in the For am I in the place of God? As for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to bring it about that many people should be kept alive as they are today. So do not fear, I will provide for you and your little ones. Thus he comforted them and spoke kindly to them. So if the family of Joseph hadn't gone down to Egypt, they would have died during the famine. It makes me wonder though, did God cause the famine, or did it happen naturally and then God provided? How much he influences the events, or he knows how the events are going to unfold and he acts accordingly. Would be interesting to learn. I think what we should remember, but I'm gonna get back to that. So Joseph remained in Egypt. He and his father's house of Joseph lived 110 years. And Joseph saw Ephraim's children of the third generation. The children also of Machir, the sons of Manasseh, were counted as Joseph's own. And Joseph said to his brothers, I am about to die, but God will visit you and bring you up out of this land to the land that he swore to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. Then Joseph made the sons of Israel swear, saying, God will surely visit you, and you shall carry up my bones from here. So Joseph died, being 110 years old. They embalmed him, and he was put in a coffin in Egypt. And as we can see, as the story ended, and I'm going to do a recap next time, but as the story ended, we see that so what we can learn from this chapter is that, yes, it's almost like a book. The story ended, the heroes died, but unlike a book, we believe that these things actually happened. And the other thing is, these people are not really dead, because Jesus Christ died for them. So one way or another, they will come back to life, or they already have. Depends how you view the end times. But what I find interesting is, again, I can't escape the thought that whenever there is something going on in our lives, and to still not even rejoice, but recognize the hand of God in it, to recognize his provision and say, and worship God and give him glory for whatever situation you're in. And I know there's tragedies in people's life. I understand that. And I understand that there are horrible tragedies I do not want any part of. But I'm just hoping that whatever happens, not just in my life, in all of our lives, and that should be our prayer for today anyway, that whatever God puts before us, we should be able to overcome it and still glorify him, and whatever tragedy we have, to be able to learn to glorify God. And I know it must be extremely difficult, because there are, like I said, there are horrible situations in people's lives. But in any case, that would be my prayer, that wherever we are, in whatever situation we are, and whatever situation we are in, and in whatever positions we find ourselves, to rely on God, and to be, and to persevere, and to be patient in the situation we are in. Because it's really difficult to, the only thing that could get someone through in a situation like that is if you're truly grounded in your relationship with God. That is the only way to say that, yes, you did evil to me, yes, I was in a horrible situation, and even though, but think about it, you see many stars today, celebrities are coming out and they're saying that, I was in such a horrible situation, but it doesn't matter, I'm a gazillionaire, I have a great life, I was in such a horrible situation, this and that, and that's what happened in my life. But Joseph said no, because God What you meant for evil, God meant for good. So hopefully, one day and every day in our lives, we can see that although I'm in a situation I don't enjoy at all, God still means to refine me in it. Amen.